Hi everyone. In this video, we will demonstrate the KnockMeWhiteOut function found in the Digital Factory family of products. KnockMeWhiteOut automatically removes the white from a design so that the white of the shirt is used instead. Without the white printed in these areas, less ink is used and it will result in a softer and lighter feel. This is a very useful function for DTF and white toner printers. This video will explain how to set up KnockMeWhiteOut and uses two examples to demonstrate how it will affect the output. The first example is a straightforward use of KnockMeWhiteOut, removing the white from the design. There are no gradients, and the design has either solid white or solid color areas. The removal of white is straightforward and will make a big difference in the amount of ink used. Starting with the job imported to the printer queue, go to the Queue tab in the lower right and select a print mode for white shirts from the drop-down list to the right. We will create a print mode with KnockMeWhiteOut using the print mode you selected as a starting point. By creating a custom print mode, you can then use it for any jobs you have in the future. Go to the Queue menu and select Properties found at the bottom of the menu. In the Queue Properties dialog, click on the arrow next to the color layer title on the left. More options are revealed. Click on the processing options and to the right tick Use KnockMeWhiteOut. The slider sets the tolerance for what is defined as white. The value of 0 is pure white, with the RGB values of 255, 255, and 255. The value of 5 has an RGB value of 250, 250, and 250. This will allow a color that is slightly off-white to be seen as pure white and be knocked out. The white removal process results with a hard edge effect. There is either white ink in the area or the white is knocked out, and the white of the shirt will be used to represent the white in the design. For the purposes of this design, we set the value to 5 and click on Create Print Mode. Give it a name describing the features of this print mode, such as 1440 by 720 white removal. Click on Save and then OK. This print mode is now available in the Print Mode drop-down list found in the Queue tab in the lower right. You will have a dialog pop up warning you that changing the print mode will reset all properties back to the defaults specified by the print mode. Click Yes to continue. Before printing, we can get an idea of what the design will look like by viewing the raw data. To do this, right-click on the job in the queue and select Rip Only. Once the job is finished ripping, the status of the job will now say Job Spooled. Right-click on the spooled job and click on View Raw Data. You may have a dialog pop up stating that View Raw Data will show a representation of the process output. The colors may not accurately reflect how they will look in the final print. Click OK. On the top, we have two icons. The left icon will activate a window with the colors and layers. You can select individual colors. White would show as white. To see what is printed with white ink, you can either change the background color by selecting the color bar at the bottom of the window and choosing a color, or click on the right icon, View All Colors as black. When you deselect CMYK planes, you will see where the white ink will be printed. The white of the label will not be printed, and the white of the shirt will be used instead, leaving the shirt softer than it would have been if you didn't use KnockMeWhiteOut. For this example, KnockMeWhiteOut worked very well. The second example has an image with gradients of different colors into white. When using KnockMeWhiteOut, the white ink cannot be a gradient and will simply stop. The white of the shirt will never match the white of the ink, and where the white ink stops printing and the white of the shirt is then used, you will see a noticeable change in the white, giving an undesirable result. We're printing this image with the new print mode 1440 by 720 white removal. View raw data for this job as you had before. Once in View Raw Data, you want to see where the white ink will print. Go to the Films to View window. Deselect the CMYK layers, leaving the white layers active. Next, click the button for View All Colors as black. This will show where the white ink will be printed, and you can see where the ink will be knocked out. The KnockMeWhiteOut process has a hard edge result, and it's not the best process for gradients. It will leave a hard edge under the gradient colors. Go back and click on View All Colors as black to toggle this mode off. Go to the Layers window and tick All Layers on. Change the substrate to a light gray, and you will see a posterized look where the white ink stops and the white of the shirt will appear. The extent of this effect will depend on the image used, the white ink, and the value of white of the shirt. It's difficult to determine how much it will distract from the final print until you print it onto a shirt. The best solution for this example is to use our Fluid Mask plugin. This plugin will selectively remove white areas, allowing you to use a print mode that does not use KnockMeWhiteOut. The Fluid Mask plugin is a feature that is not included in all packages of Digital Factory. You may not have access to this plugin. If you do have Fluid Mask in your package, right-click on the job in the queue, and then click on Edit with Fluid Mask. With Fluid Mask, you can define which areas you want to delete in red and which areas you want to keep in green. You can learn more about Fluid Mask from our Fluid Mask plugin video on the CADlink YouTube channel, which explains its use in more detail. After using Fluid Mask, the outside white was removed, but the white inside the design remained. For the best results, we changed the print mode to 1440 by 720 white, which does not have KnockMeWhiteOut. Thanks for watching. If this video helped you, hit the like button, and if you have any questions, please reach out to us at any time. And don't forget to subscribe for more videos covering all of CADlink's products.